Okay, so I think everyone knows that I am a huge fan of Neyo. I think that goes without it really having to be said or done. And I think that his new song that he released for his album, Self-Explanatory, that's coming out soon. This is the second song. On this on his album that we are getting soon. There are a lot of credits. Engineers, Universal Studios, Neyo, Motown labels. I just want to say that Neyo is good at making R&B music that will last for a long time, and that I still forgot that he was signed to Universal Music Group or Motown Records. So we're gonna talk about this song, and I want to give a huge disclaimer before I start talking about this song that it broadly sounds like he is not really objectifying women. That's not his thing. But he's talking about a woman, and I don't want women, females, non-binary. I don't want, or men. I don't even want to. I don't want anyone to feel a certain way of you covered this and didn't address like the weirdness of the song on the song Self-Explanatory, on the album Self-Explanatory. You got that body. Now the song's title in itself has a lot of stuff that kind of sounds like he's the way he describes a woman's body in detail. Now I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. That's not everybody's not everyone's comfortable with that, and I think I just had to talk about this huge disclaimer before I talk about it, because I'm not really sure how this will be portrayed, but also just how this will be received. I think that's what I worry about. Neyo doesn't really go like crazy like other artists, but I do want to I want to say, if you're listening to this song, I don't think anyone shares a view of this trying to harm you or disrespect you in any way. But I want to talk about this song. And but real quick, let's see if we have any sponsors. But there are some lines in here where you're like, okay, Neyo, you're great at what you do. You're right good. One of the best R&B artists to ever write music. But the way the way the lyrics are, I worry. So we're gonna see if we have any sponsors, and then I'm gonna talk right into it.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Okay, so Neyo starts this song off by saying, "You got that body," stacked like 100 bands, which is $100,000. I think that's quite simple. I think there are many ways to stack $100,000. Normally, if you do it in a briefcase, or have you receive it from the bank, there's people that like floss it around their muscles and stuff, and I think that's what he's saying. He says, "Act right, I never care. Act like my biggest fear of like not caring or not losing you," which I think a lot of people portray themselves to act that way, which because they're like, if I act like I don't care if I lose you, then I'll never lose you. It's a weird thing that works 60% of the time, which is a weird thing to think about. But he says, baby, I'm your man and you know I am. Meaning that, I'm the one for you, even though, we've been around each other. He says, if I act right, I'm going to put it in her hands. I think we can summarize what we're referring to. Money like you don't even understand. I'm saying that first line seems like we know what it is, and then that second line talking about money. They could relate. He says, trap like she used to dance, and then money like you don't understand. And it's kind of known. I don't want to say that. I'm not trying to say this in a disrespectful way. But for some dancers, exotic dancers, or dancers in general, they have been known to make a lot of money, and I'm not sure if that's what he was hinting at, right? So, because he in the next line, and really no offense to him, I'm trying to be respectful, but he says you have a body like I don't even understand, which is like he's praising the way she looks, and looks aren't everything. Looks aren't everything. That's just, looks aren't everything, but looks are normally what people would say will attract you to a person first. He says, "Shawty, let me know something. Like, I just want to get to know you." He says, okay, now the visual for this seems weird. He says, I'm trying to beat it like you stole something, which, I think we know what he's referring to, but that's a touchy subject. I would hope, I think we know what he's referring to, but I would hope that if you were to steal something, you wouldn't get terribly beaten up, or just we could handle that in a different manner that isn't necessarily a violent manner. But he says like you stole something, so it's a weird thing. It's definitely a weird thing to put in a lyric. Now, I'm not here to criticize or to say that he, the song itself, and she ain't trying to be with me or sleep with me until she sees something. And I think that's the way society kind of is, to just sum it up. I'm not putting any blame on men or women. That's just kind of how society is. He says, but all you gotta do is call me and I'm right there. You know the deal. Just knowing that if you need something from me, I'm gonna be there for you, which is what he's referring to. And I think those are perfect for a friendship. But I said this before, but I do want to say it again. Respect people's boundaries. Saying I got the money no matter what situation you need to be in. No matter the situation you're in or you need to get out of, I have the money in case you needed to use it for anything. He says, I got the bag and you got the body. As in, I think it's a weird thing like people just say IG models, right? Where you'll see a celebrity with somebody that looks amazing, man or female or non-binary. You'll see them with somebody and their body will be amazing. You're like, well, that's why that celebrity got with them. And it's, that standard's been around for a while, and I'm not here to argue that standard, even though I think I probably could. He's just, that's all he's saying. It's weird because he says, in the song it says, he says, black mixed with other things, which is a weird way to put it. But if you look at the lyrics, it says block me, just like other stuff, tatted, hella thick. hair down to her waistline. And it's a weird thing to, as I said, he really just, he breaks down the a woman's body's anatomy, which set these kind of, which are from these standards of you have to have a certain body type or a skinny waist or long hair, which I think are outdated. But these unrealistic body standards for some people, and it's just, that's what it's a weird thing to talk about now, but that's what's in the song. And when I said objectifying, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it's these standards that he's realistic now. And now people will say, well, it's a preference, and it probably is a preference. But it's a weird thing to read, or listen to, really. Told her to show me something on FaceTime, which, it's a weird thing, I think, especially with FaceTime. But, people either get ready on FaceTime with each other, or they're just having fun. But in this context, I think we understand what he's saying. He said side piece of skull had to decline 3 times. She'll be fine. Now, some people are okay with their husbands, wives, or non-binary people having side pieces. I mean, personally, I am against that. I think, whatever works for you, works for you. There's no standard on relationships and how they gotta be. But he just says I just had to decline, which, that's fine, I guess. And he says legs up like the peace sign. She's so fine, legs up like the peace sign. And I think this refers to exotic dancers, but it's just another piece of, I love Neyo when he writes songs and stuff, but stuff like this, it's not necessarily not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's just how he writes it. So, I guess it rhymes or it goes well together, but in reality, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. So to me, it's a weird. It's like the line. I'm not really sure how, like, other people feel about. Like, I'm not overly sensitive. I'm not overly sensitive about these lyrics because people have talked about women in other ways in rap songs for years. R&B has done it for years. It's a weird line to listen to now. I'm not necessarily sure why I feel this way. Now, that's totally up to me. You don't have to feel that way. I understand. I'm not trying to sway anybody to feel that way. I just wanted to cover my bases when I talked about it because I wasn't sure if it was going to offend anybody, and I don't want to offend anybody here. If you listen to it, I don't want to offend anybody because I'm here to inform you about why these lyrics connect and why. I'm not necessarily here to push anything. Like, I'm not really that person at all. But, so, really, that's really the whole songs. And the songs, to me, it's a 5.2 from Neyo because it's just not a great song to me. Like, I can get over some of the lyrics and I'm fine with that. It's just, for me, it's like I'm gonna go with 6.2 out of 10 just because Neyo can sing. Some of the lyrics are okay, but I'm not really necessarily sure how this plays out in society. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm not really sure how this would play out in society of where, I don't know. Because I think with stuff coming out for women these past couple days, I don't know if this was the right time to put this out. No, I get it. Stuff happens. But I don't know. This is a weird thing to listen to. No hate towards Neyo. I love when Neyo puts work together. I love the beat. I don't know. I mean, it's like, not a bad song. It's just not perfectly my taste of music from Neyo, and not my favorite song from Neyo that Neyo's put out. So, it's okay. So I'm going to go 6.2 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope I didn't offend anybody. That's not the goal, to offend anybody. Just trying to be respectful of everybody while I just kind of connected cues and music together, and just listen to music first. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling, but I do worry. I don't know. Just I worry about songs or like standards or stereotypes we try to push. I kind of hate those, but um, it's not necessarily one thing that one person can do to fix them. Yeah. 6.2 out of 10. Neo's. You got that body. Which the title alone probably tells you this probably wasn't necessarily the song if you wanted to listen to a original, like another Neo song like about love. This probably wasn't the song you were trying to listen to or look for, but it's Neo, so I had to cover it. Sorry if I seem like I'm rambling because I think I am. Hope you enjoyed this episode.